morning.
Good morning.
Happy Sunday NFL Day to you and yours. We are back for week 2 of the Weekly Pickoff. In case you don't know, I'm Chip. This is the wife.
I'm Tiela.
Hello. We're going to have to do this much earlier in the week next week because we are going to Washington on Sunday. So
we are going to Washington on Sunday. I'm so excited.
We will not be able to do this next week on this date and time.
True. Because we'll be traveling on a bus down to Washington.
True story.
With all of our favorite people.
True.
And Hollis Thomas.
Yes.
And
is Hollis Thomas not one of our favorite people? You said all of our favorite people.
Well, he's like the asterisk because he's so great. Plus DJs, plus all this cool food, plus copious amounts of drinking. I think I need a new fun shirt for it.
And it's too late to sign up now. So
yeah, I know. So if you didn't get tickets, find us at the tailgate if you're down there, and hang out with us and maybe play games and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, because we sold out. We sold out, y'all.
We did sell out. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty fun. I need a new fun shirt. I haven't decided on what I want it to say yet. Something about I like tight ends, strong Ds. Possible. We'll see.
So 10-year wedding anniversary this week.
I mean, yes. So that's what we're doing for our anniversary. Rather than going away, rather than being in Florida and riding Harry Potter rides and all that other kind of stuff, we are going to be with the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's dedication. That's love. That's true love.
Yeah, we're doing experiences for our 10-year anniversary. We got this. We got a concert. We got
Panic at the Disco.
We're going to another Eagles game, too.
Hoping that Brendan Urie feels better so, he will be able to do that concert.
Okay.
And I can marry him instead.
So let's explain what we do here.
Yeah.
So what we do here, real simple, is we pick the games based on logic, based on statistics, based on whatever my wife picks things.
You do it based off of logic and statistics.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I just see a team. I'm like, oh, that looks good. I'm going to pick that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we started, and last week I went 11-4, which makes me 11-4 on the season. Mm-hmm. Tiela went 9-6. Yep. Which makes her 9-6 of the season because there's one game. And we don't count ties.
Yeah.
They're not wins. They're not losses. They're just ties.
They're just there.
Thank you to the Colts for a tie.
So bummed.
It's just stupid.
I know.
It's just stupid.
I know.
So.
I'm disappointed.
Let's just get right into it.
Okay.
Let's get right into it.
I'm ready.
So we did pick the Chargers-Chiefs game. We released our picks well before. We were both right. We picked the Chiefs.
Yes.
I thought it would be a high-scoring game. It kind of wasn't. I think the Chargers are on the up, but right now they have injuries to their wide receivers and their defense, which is exactly what hurt them. Mahomes and the Chiefs edged them out in a shootout. It wasn't so much a shootout as a blowout.
Wait a second. We're doing the review of what we're doing?
Well, they already played this game.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And you picked the Chiefs because...
Oh, yes, that's true. This did happen on Thursday night. I am with you now. See, this is why we picked the way that we do. Yes, that is true. Mm-hmm. My comments were so much better than your comments.
They were, but mine got me better fantasy points.
No.
I had Mike Williams, and he went off.
And I had 40-something fantasy.
We both had Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
We did. Okay. So anyway, that's what happened. It was really good fantasy day for both of us. And yeah, the Chiefs.
They did.
I was impressed.
They got the Avada Kedavras.
Yeah, they did.
All right, so let's get right into it. We got the Patriots and the Steelers. I picked the Steelers.
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. I'm going off on a tangent here for a second.
Sure.
You know what I just thought about?
I don't know.
Speaking of Harry Potter, because we've now mentioned it twice.
Indeed.
Did you ever notice that in the first movie, Quirrell says trolls in the dungeon, right? Mm-hmm. And then Dumbledore sends everybody back to their houses. Mm-hmm. But isn't Slytherin's house in the dungeon?
Yes.
So he sent them back to the dungeon with the troll?
Sure did.
Got it. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry.
50 points to Gryffindor.
I'm not Steelers. A Gryffindor, I'm a Hufflepuff guy. Go ahead.
I thought the Steelers played surprisingly mediocre in the opening game. They ended up winning off of multiple kicks.
Yeah, JD.
Oh, man, we're talking. So just so you know, Chips and Drip is tonight at 9 because I'm not interfering with the Eagles and Vikings game tomorrow. So we are moving it to tonight. We've been off for a couple of weeks, so that's what we're doing. The Patriots, they have no offensive players. And,
it's true.
And their starting quarterback has been battling the illnesses all week. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been sick.
Sick with what?
I don't know.
Or is Swan sick?
Oh, no, he's Bella sick.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I am picking the Steelers for that reason and that reason alone.
So I also picked the Steelers, but only because I am PA loyal at a time where I try to be when, there are other teams and stuff like that. And it's Pennsylvania. So, I mean, if we play each other on the rarity that happens, fuck them. But sorry. And I said that Billy B can shove a Permani sandwich right down his cake hole.
That'd be Billy Belichick for those of you watching at home.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what Permani's is, go to Pittsburgh and have one of their sandwiches. They are fantastic.
I didn't know what a Permani sandwich was. I've only driven through Pittsburgh.
Not a PA loyalist guy.
I've just only driven through Pittsburgh. I think
True
it's
story.
Stupid.
I love Pittsburgh. Go ahead.
And plus, now you can pick the Steelers a little more freely now that Big Ben is not on the team.
I can, because I hate that man. But I'm down for it. And poor TJ Watt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a struggle for them this season.
That's what I'm nervous for, but I'm not as nervous with the Patriots right now.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with the Steelers right now. Moving on. Panthers are the Giants. The Giants are awful. I don't know how they won a game last week, but they did. The Panthers do have a couple of weapons. They've got Christian McCaffrey. They got Baker Mayfield. And the two of them could be pretty beneficial as long as Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, which we know is only good for about 3-4 weeks at a time. So I'm going to ride the Panthers' hand until at least against the Giants.
I never picked the Giants no matter what. But I was shocked that they won, and good for them. I mean, that means that the NFC East has pretty good standing. 3 out of 4.
Yeah, and we all scored touchdowns except for one team.
You know what I said in my tweet? 3 out of 4 ain't bad, or whatever Meatloaf sang. So I was shocked, but good for them. But I'm still rooting for Baker Mayfield, and I'm waiting on those damn commercials. I don't like that nothing has come out yet. This man is riding this train that he needs to ride, and I'm here for it. I want a revenge season for him so badly, which he did not get last week.
No.
But I want it for him. I think he's a nice guy, and I'm ready for it. So
I like that Baker Mayfield as a competitor.
Me too. Yeah.
Like when he scored that running touchdown last week, and he was stoked about it. Like he wants to win. He wants to do well with his team. That's why he went to Cleveland. He went to Carolina and won the job. I want to see good things for Baker Mayfield.
Me too.
And I want to see the Giants cry.
Yes, I would like to see Giants in tears as well.
So far we are the same.
I know. I didn't look at our picks.
I think we have 3 different.
Oh.
This is not one of them. The Jets and the Browns. The Browns are a decent team. Jets are not. Browns win.
Okay. For you, that makes sense. For me, I don't like looking at orange and brown and then that green and the yellow all in the same field. It makes me feel
yellow?
Not yellow, white.
Oh.
It makes me feel sorry. Yes, I know. It makes me feel uncomfortable things to see all of that on the screen. And what does that mean? Like, what uniforms will the Jets be wearing? They're primarily green ones.
I don't know. They're stupid.
Right.
Joe Flacco is not going to beat the Browns.
No. But that sounds right. But I don't like the color matchup, and that bothers me. So I'm going to go with the Browns because it's at least close to spooky season colors.
I think we spent more than enough time on that one.
I agree. I don't care about that game.
Colts and the Jaguars.
Oh, look at that.
Again, I am not one to just pick the Jaguars to make you angry because I pick.
Yes, he does.
I do it sometimes. The Colts do have a lot of weapons. Now, they are going to miss one of their best wide receivers this week, so that could be a problem. However, the Jaguars are not a good football team. They just are not a good football team. Doug Peterson is not a great coach. That's it. I don't care if he's a Super Bowl winning coach. The Colts have weapons, including the best running back in football and the best offensive line in football. The Jaguars do not. The Colts will win this game.
Sure. I do it based off of Parks and Recreation, which I love. And they let me down last week with their tie. So they let me down again against the most punchable face in the NFL. Dunzo.
And that's what Dunzo looks like in writing, folks.
I don't know if it does, but it's part of the Parks and Rec fandom. We're Dunzo. So we're just going to keep going. Want to punch him.
All righty then.
Go.
Okay, Dolphins and the Ravens were still the same. This game should be really good. But the Ravens have injuries in the offensive line, in the secondary, in the running backs, which is what Lamar Jackson kind of needs in order to do what he does. So, in theory, Tua should be able to use his many weapons and manage his team to a victory. I think this game is going to be close, but I do think the Dolphins have enough weapons to overpower the Ravens.
Is Tua on the Ravens?
Tua is the quarterback of the Dolphins.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know anything about the matchup between these two, but guys, did you see the Dolphin waddle last week? It is the cutest thing that fans are doing now, and I want more of it. So I picked the Dolphins because of that little I love that.
Do you know the name of that player?
No.
Jalen Waddle.
That's why they waddle?
Yes.
It's not just like the dolphins coming out of the water and doing the waddle?
What dolphins come out of the water?
When they come out and they do that little thing?
Like when they're yeah. That was more like a penguin waddle.
No, I love it.
Yeah, his name is Jalen Waddle. That's awesome. Why it's his touchdown celebration.
I'm here for it. Let's keep going.
So we have moved on away from Ace Ventura
to the cute little waddle.
To now the fact that Jalen Waddle waddles.
Yeah. So there you go. It's going to be a good game.
Okay, Bucks and the Saints. The Saints had to get lucky to beat the Falcons. The Bucks are a Super Bowl contender still. Should be a hard-fought game, but the Bucks should be able to pull it out with Brady heroics. Now, the other thing, breaking news for my fantasy owners, Alvin Kamara is out for today's game. So get him out of your starting lineups. He is out for today's game. He's the running back on the Saints. So another weapon down, and Jameis Winston's stupid.
Okay. I would normally pick the Saints because we have Italian Catholic guilt. But I do enjoy a little drama. And this Tom Brady divorce thing is sending me. So because of that, I think he has the talent, obviously. He's the most winningest quarterback. And just enough spitefulness to win. Like, you need that little bit of spite to push you further. And that's what I think he's gaining from this whole thing. And he's going to – I wouldn't be surprised this year if he spitefully wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that either, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't either. But –
spite will take you far.
He definitely is going to win this game.
I hope so. Don't say definitely.
He doesn't struggle often against the teams in his division. If you look at his career record, when he's playing divisional games, he usually does pretty well. And the Saints are just not as good as the Bucs, even with Chris Godwin out today. Again, I'm helping you fantasy owners out. Commanders and the Lions. And I love that I still don't have a Commanders helmet to put on there. So it's like a sticker.
Isn't it just like...
It's stupid.
Their name.
It's what it is. It's stupid. I'm picking the Lions. I was actually surprised by the Lions last week. They were pretty put together against the Eagles, who are a decent football team. I don't think the Commanders are as good. They're going to be able to put up points on the Commanders, who have injuries all over their defense. Yeah.
So for me, Wentz did well last week.
Howie checking in.
Hello.
It's Hip Howie. He got his hip replaced, and he's watching us pick the Lions.
I know. I love Howie, but I was going to wait for that one. Sorry. Wentz did well last week. That's what you get. But the Lions coach looks like he could snap the entire defensive line of the Commanders in half.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
With just his pinky. I won a trivia contest for knowing that.
That's true. And knowing that he played in the NFL for multiple teams.
Correct.
As a tight end. She's smart.
Yes, I am. So don't get this twisted. I do know what's going on, but that's not why I pick people with this pinky. So Wentz is known for getting hot and then shitting out, which is just a matter of time, as we know. So I'm going with the Lions on this one, surprisingly. And yes, Howie. It is awesome because no one does pick the Lions, but they might.
And the other thing is, like, if you saw the environment of Ford Field last week, it was a sellout. It was loud in there. I think that Carson chokes under pressure.
Yeah.
Because he's not that cool, calm, collected guy, in case y'all didn't know. So I do think the Lions get a win. How long till Chip is waddling at home? That's going to be my new mating dance, Ollie. You're just going to see me, like, walking around the house like this.
When is he going to see you walking around the house like that?
I'll send him a video.
Ollie.
I'll send him a video. Damn.
He's going to waddle towards you.
I'll be like, Ollie.
Why?
I don't know. It's early. I haven't had my Dunkin' yet.
I want to hear Ollie say waddle.
Waddle.
I love that.
We have a difference here.
We do?
We do.
Whoa.
Seahawks at the 49ers.
All right.
I'm taking the Seahawks. And my reasoning is stupid. Yes, Ollie, I did almost give our secret away. Those long camp days. Good Lord. The Seahawks are still riding high over their revenge victory against Russ. And if you watched what Tyler Lockett was calling out on the sidelines, Russell Wilson has not changed his audible hand signals. So they were like, he's what he's going to do. And they slapped him around.
Right, but that is why I think they slapped and won this game.
Right. The 49ers struggled in the sloppy weather against the Bears. So this is another ugly game because the Seahawks and the 49ers are both not very good. But I'm giving the edge to quarterback play, and I think the Seahawks have a better quarterback. I think absolutely nothing of Trey Lance as an NFL player. I think nothing of Trey Lance and Justin Fields. I think nothing of Geno Smith, but at least he's comfortable in the offense that he's in. Seahawks win this game.
I think that the Seahawks looked good, better than I thought that they would, but there were obvious reasons for that. And I think that being home against Wilson was the reason. And I don't know if that momentum will continue to be there when they don't have home field advantage and they don't know what the plays are going to be and they don't know what's going to happen. So this is really a determining factor for them. Is it going to be that this was just them already knowing what was going to happen, with like a little Giants type of situation? Or is it going to be one where they are actually out and they're ready to play regardless of the situation? And I, surprisingly, because you guys know how I feel about these costumes, have problems with their uniforms. I'm getting there. Hold on.
Oh, it felt so nice.
Yeah, uniforms. That's not what it is. I have my costume mentality shirt on. And also, we made a very good point the other day. My son did. Okay, real quick rant on this. So basically, please don't widen the screen.
No, quick before that, if you have George Kittle on your fantasy team, he's out for the 49ers, and as a young quarterback, you want your tight ends. He's not there. All right.
I don't know what that means, so sure.
Tight end for the 49ers.
Sure, great. So here's the thing. When you are – okay, so my son, our oldest son, plays football. And he has a young lady that he is seeing, and her name is Frankie. So he said to me the other day, oh, yeah, there's this play, Frankie. And I was like, there's this play, Frankie. So I was like, oh, my God, I don't remember that play. Like, whatever. And it wasn't until later on that we realized that he was talking about a football play. So so if those two, it's play and play, what do they wear at plays? Costumes. Guys, I'm riding this one high. They are costumes. Anyway, I think the 49ers might take it, but I don't know anything about Kittle, so who knows, Howie. And let's move on. I've talked to him about this. And he had no rebuttal.
She talks to NFL players about this, and they hate it.
Do they, though?
They do. They're like, I don't wear a costume.
Yes, you do.
That's what all NFL players sound like.
Mm-hmm.
Rams and the Falcons. The Rams are going to slap the Falcons right out of the sky. Maybe Cam Akers will gain a single yard since he got me exactly 0 fantasy points last week.
Maybe it'll be redemption. Anyway.
Stupid.
Despite their train wreck of a game, I think that loss is what they needed to kick some Falcons' ass this week. I was very disappointed in the showing from the Rams last week. I really was. I mean, my man should be doing better than that.
It was an opening night letdown, if you will.
It was. And I mean, I know everybody was like, oh, they won the Super Bowl, whatever. They're going to do it again, but they didn't. This play was a flop.
Even my dog hated that comment.
No, he didn't. He loved it.
I hate everything.
You don't know. You don't speak dog.
I do. Raiders and Cardinals were different here, too. I'm taking the Raiders. The Cardinals looked like an unprepared team versus the Chiefs in what should have been a decent matchup. And we all know the Kyler Murray study clause in his new multi-million-dollar contract because Kyler Murray doesn't study game film. And that's the thing that they say. In fact, I saw this. Somebody did a study on Call of Duty double XP weekends. Kyler Murray's quarterback rating drops significantly. because we all know Kyler Murray is a video gamer and he plays Call of Duty. So again, having to do with nothing, Kyler Murray looked unprepared for this game. Until Kyler Murray shows me that it was a bad game and not a sign of things to come, I'm picking against the Cardinals for a while. The Raiders have solid running back, solid tight end, the best wide receiver in football. They're going to win this game. They're going to score a lot. Raiders win.
I love Zach Ertz.
I do too.
And I am a fan of actually a lot of the players on the Cardinals. I really like them. And I thought last year, like they were on the train to going towards the Super Bowl. And then they kind of just like absolutely shit out. And I almost picked the Raiders this game based off of last week's game. But my heart doesn't feel that way. And it tells me that it was just week 1 and they're going to come back and shit on people's heads like birds do.
Yeah, but they got really spanked last week.
They did. And I feel like sometimes when you get slapped around, you want that revenge. And not all teams can do that. But I do think that the Cardinals have weapons to be able to come back and slap people around. Again, a little bit of spite.
And that's very well could be the case. I also think that not having DeAndre Hopkins for the Cardinals is going to hurt them these first couple weeks of the season.
Who are you talking to?
The
Who's Lou?
The people watching. They need to know these things.
I don't know that.
Okay. Broncos and the Texans. This game is stupid. The Broncos win. Russ is going to need to lead the offense to silence some of these critics because he signed a big deal and did not put out a big effort in a game that really was his homecoming. He should be able to get an easy win at home versus the Texans. The Texans suck.
And I don't care enough about this game at all. The only correlation that I have is what do Broncos buck? Probably Texans.
That one I can agree with. Moving on.
Oh my God.
The Bengals and the Cowboys. The Bengals are going to win this game. I don't think highly of the Cowboys this season. I thought that they got worse in the offseason. Now, Dak Prescott is out for a while.
I feel bad for him.
I do too, because that was not a pretty injury.
Mm-hmm. Again, second year in a row, but a whole different area of the body.
Yeah, with Dak being out, the Cowboys have Cooper Rush as their starting quarterback. Cooper Rush does not win games here. Will Greer, their backup quarterback, does not win games here.
Cooper Rush sounds like the University of Cooper, and you're rushing their
fraternities. Yep, like, sure
Cooper
do.
Rush.
The Bengals had a tough loss, which Joe Burrow was apparently beside himself and wouldn't get out of his uniform for hours. They are going to put a hurting on the Cowboys.
Again, spite.
They're going to go out of their way to kick a team while they are down.
Spite in their Halloween costumes, which is the only thing that I'm going for on this. They're black. They're orange. It's cute. Joe Burrow's, I'm telling you, like, I think that was dramatic. Like, oh, he didn't get out of his uniform or whatever they want to say, which I say costume, but they say uniform. And I think that that's stupid. It's a first game of the season.
Yeah, but it was an ugly loss. Like, I had Evan McPherson, the kicker, on my fantasy team, and he screwed me last week.
I don't know, but it was a sad loss. It was a huge bummer. I think I picked them last week, didn't I? I did. And that was a huge – I'm not worried about you.
What about yourself?
What about yourself? So yeah, so they're cute little Halloween costumes. I was trying to avoid the fact that the Cowboys were terrible last week.
Even with Dak in the game, they did not look good.
I told you what happened. Dak talked shit about the Eagles. And
yes, we're going to bring – Ollie can just be the commissioner.
I think that'd be so – Commissioner Ollie, that'd be so cute.
Commissioner Brown.
I like that too.
Yeah, Wayne says never trust a kicker in a Halloween costume. Wayne, that might be my next T-shirt.
I don't know what that means.
The kicker for the Bengals hurt me. And yeah, you're calling them Halloween costumes. And he's telling me never trust a kicker in a Halloween costume.
Why?
Because they hurt you in fantasy football.
Oh, well, I'm down for it. It's going to happen.
Meanwhile, she completely negates the fact that one of the all-time best Halloween costumes is a cowboy.
What is it?
It's a cowboy.
So
you're saying Halloween costumes, but
correct.
Cowboys are a great Halloween costume. Unless you're in the Philadelphia area. Go Birds. Dub Birds.
Unless you're an indigenous peoples.
Oh, yeah. Fact on that one, too. All right, moving on. We have a difference here. Bears and Packers.
Oh, we do.
I'm taking the Packers.
What are you? We're not going to make it to 10 years on Thursday.
Yeah, we are. Because Justin Fields sucks. He is not a good quarterback. The Pack at home versus the Bucs, it seems almost too easy. Aaron Rodgers is going to need to connect with his wide receivers because it was a very long week of all of the faces that he made because his wide receivers could not get open and or dropped easy passes that hit people right in the hands. But he does get Allen Lazard back this week, his number one receiver. So Aaron Rodgers is going to need to connect with his wide receivers or expect another week of close-up camera shots of a very angry jerk face.
I do think that he carries spite pretty well, I got to say. I just like him. So last week's game was such an enjoyment for me.
It was good.
It was so good. And it gives me so much joy to think about it. And while I love that 70s show, Chip will tell you that the Bare Necessities song, for whatever reason, has been stuck in my head all week.
And she's done deep dives on it.
No, I haven't done deep dives on it. I just don't understand why the voice from the guy that sings the Bare Necessities has a southern accent when they're in the jungle. That doesn't make any sense. But Shere Khan and Bagheera have to be like jungle related. Make it make sense to me. So anyway, the Bears, only because of that, I feel like they're going to win. And also because I watched the first Ghostbusters again for the 100th time last night. And Da Bears skit is Dan Aykroyd. And he's also in the Ghostbusters, and I'm here for that. And
that's why she thinks the Bears are going to win. I think Justin Fields is a garbage quarterback.
And I think that Aaron Rodgers needs to fall down a whole lot more again.
Packers win this game. She says Bears.
I do say Bears. It'd be cute if they did.
All right. Titans and the Bills.
Oh, we did pick the same one.
We both had the Bills. The Bills looked like they have not missed a step. The Titans, quote, pound the ground game took a hit when A.J. Brown moved on and they didn't replace him. So you can't just run Derrick Henry 30 times and that's your only offense. The Bills are going to win this game by at least 10 points.
I don't know anything about what you just said, but I really love Tennessee, and it pains me to pick the Bills because that one dude sucks. But I really think that the Bills might take this one. I don't have any cute anecdotes for it at all because I don't care about this game, even a little bit.
Yeah,
I also don't like the Bills logo, just as a complete side note. But I hate Tennessee's logo more. So maybe that's kind of it. They both have like rocket-like things coming towards each other. I don't know what the Bills thing is.
It's a bison.
It doesn't matter. What's that red thing?
A stripe.
Right, it's dumb. But it's less dumb than the Titans. Move on.
Other breaking news, if you have Julio Jones on your fantasy for the Bucs, he's inactive today due to a knee injury. So
I gotta look at my team.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to quick after this make sure my players are all active.
Yeah.
So there you go. Vikings and the Eagles. Is that seriously the last one?
Yeah.
We did them all?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, because here we go.
Did it.
Vikings and the Eagles. Okay. We have a difference here. Now, first off, let me just say, go Birds. I'd like to take the L on this one. But
he says that every time.
I do. But again, this is a competition, so I'm going with the competition here. I do think the Vikings are going to win this game for one reason and one reason alone. The Eagles look like garbage against the Lions defensively. Jonathan Gannon did a terrible job game planning for a mediocre Lions defense.
That part is true. He did.
The Vikings offense.
Isn't he that guy that is ripped kind of?
No. That's just the sideline coordinator. Yeah. The Vikings offense is not the Lions offense. The Lions have weapons. Do not have weapons. The Vikings have weapons for days. I want to pick the Eagles, but their defensive performance was not encouraging. The Vikings have Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook. They have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. You cannot cover all these guys the way we did. I'm not sure Philly can stop them all. I'm going to be wrong on this one, and I'm cool with it, but I do think the Vikings win without any contribution from Jalen Reagor. And
He just likes the competition against me because he just does. He's so competitive.
I'm very competitive.
But unlike Chip, I have something called Eagles pride. So I don't pick against the Eagles. You know that. It's a rare day when I ever pick anything against them. My biggest thing is that Hurts is very hard on himself. Mm-hmm. And even when he plays well, he feels like he could play better. And the team looks up to him. He is a leader and he encourages others and he pushes others. And for that reason alone, I feel like the Eagles will come out with a much better showing than they did last week. I have a lot of faith in her.
I hope so too. And again, it's the opening home game. Like,
I like the Vikings.
I do not.
Because they're blonde and so cute. But I'm an Eagles fan, and that's that.
I'm a huge Eagles fan, but for the purpose of this pick'em, here's what I think the Vikings have that the Eagles don't.
He's always so mad when I win at March Madness. So he can never let this go.
Here's what I figured out about this picking stuff with you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
I am better at the long-term stuff. You are better at the high-stakes pick'em, where it's like there's only a limited amount of games, and that's going to be it. That's where you thrive under pressure.
Of course I do. I'm a diamond, honey. You don't get diamonds if there's not pressure.
Facts.
I don't even know if that's true. That's just a saying that people use.
And with that, go Birds.
Don't say go Birds.
Of course I'm an Eagles fan.
Anyway, the point is that if you were in the Washington area or plan on being in the Washington, I should say DC area, you should come to the game and tailgate with all of us. It's going to be super fun. I'm very excited about it. My dogs are equally as excited about it. So come hang out with all of us. We'll get lots of pictures and have fun. I know my dogs are.
But that's next week. So this week, again, that's been the NFL Weekly Pickoff, the Chips and Misses show,
which we're going to do earlier and on like an evening.
Yeah.
In the week when we just haven't honestly had time because we've got kids in sports.
Yeah.
So
we don't have a choice next week because we're going down to Washington. We will be live. I should say I will be live tonight, probably around 9:00 for Chip and Drip, our usual Monday night show. But again, Eagles are playing tomorrow night, so I am not going to be on air. So go Birds.
Do you guys do an after show though, right?
Not on Monday nights and Sunday nights. It's late. I got to teach in the morning.
So
does
Johnny.
JD. No, I'm going to bed.
All right.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.